If you're just tuning in, this is Desert Islands, the show where I make mixtapes based on my guests' 10 records they would bring to a desert island. And today I've been making one for Colin Bracewell, who I'm speaking with
Oh,
right now. How you doing? Thanks for coming on this show. I really appreciate it.
yeah, I'm super happy to be here. This was a really cool experience to finally do in my career. It's kind of long overdue, I think, but yeah.
Well, welcome. Better late than never. So you have some music doing quite well right now. How does that feel?
Yeah. So my new song, "Making Me Crazy," has been doing pretty well. A lot of people have kind of liked it. The Current's been playing it a lot, which is super
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So that and it's so cool because that's really been like I've only put out two songs this year, and yeah, it's just been like a really cool experience just to get that feedback, and it's also like number one on the charts for the past like 3 weeks, and that's been a lot of fun. Uh, but yeah, so it's been great, and I'm so excited to finally to put more out before the end of the year ends too. Yeah, just keep the ball rolling. So it's been great.
Yeah. Do you have a schedule on the new music, or am I giving away trade secrets? I don't want to pry, but like you have this going on. Do you have something in your back pocket coming up?
I have one song. Well, yeah, I have a release coming out hopefully in the next 2 weeks or so. It hasn't
Sure.
been announced yet, unless you go on TikTok and then you can hear the whole thing there.
Of
But
course. Yeah.
but yeah, so there should be a song coming out in the next couple weeks, and that'll probably be the last song that I put out before the end of the year. So
Perfect,
yeah,
perfect. You released EP at the entry not too long ago. Well, I mean, with the pandemic, what is time? Not too
yeah.
long ago could be a year, but like you sold that out. You've played a few festivals. How did this get started for you? How did you start performing, and why music specifically?
Um. Okay, so I guess so when I was a wee lad, I started on and then I quickly moved on to like musical theater.
Yeah,
So I kind of did that whole thing all the way through high school, and I still played violin during that time too. Um, and then so I'm currently at the University of Minnesota studying opera.
wow,
And so that's kind of where the music has kind of stayed going
yeah,
in that regard. And then yeah, I've been in different cover rock bands since like seventh grade. Um,
yeah.
and so I've been like four of those, and then I started doing kind of my own solo project my freshman year of university.
There is like a theater kid to rock and roll pipeline that I
It,
feel like the creative community doesn't want to talk about. Maybe because we're all theater kids. I came from theater as well. Yeah. So it's like I know there's something that kind of draws you to that communication with an audience and community and being. But was there an artist on this list that inspired you to like something click and we're like, oh, I should start writing songs? Because I mean, like Jeff Buckley's Grace is definitely a formative album on my list, but when I heard that, didn't inspire me to think I could do that. It was more like, wow, this is crazy. He's
yeah,
really but is there an artist that kind of went, oh, this is what I got to do. I should be doing that.
yeah. I think a big thing is like I I was less worried about writing my own songs. I think it was more just like a different format of creating or of
Yeah.
like performance, because like musical theater kind of has like its own like line in the sand of just like doing things. It doesn't
Yeah.
all sound the same. It all sounds beautiful and like very different in its own way, but it is a genre. But when I heard Grace, at least, like I was like, wow, like this there's so much more emotion, and I don't have to worry about just like over enunciating each line and word that I say. And so that, and especially like during like my first kind of couple years of figuring out my sound, I mean, that album, which is why it's on the top 10 list, is like
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
just so
yeah.
influential on my sound, and especially the early stuff that I released that like isn't even out now, like, and like my songwriting too, so heavily like influenced on him, and like just like all of that emotion, and yeah, so that's why that.
Yeah. Well, now that you're studying opera, are you going to incorporate that into your sound, or is your current sound more of like, hey, this is kind of like my my personal way to kind of let my hair down artistically.
Yeah. So it's funny because like I don't really have any real plans to like implement my opera thing, but like I guess like not I guess like just instinctually I just like I use my opera like abilities when I sing, you know, but like
Especially with breath control, probably.
opera, yeah, but it's more just like the breath support and just like singing all the time. Like those are the big things, but yeah, I mean I haven't even like I have my first recital coming up November 6th, and that'll be the first time that I sing opera like for a public audience. So
Wow.
so it's like very very like still like I've been doing it like my all my like 4 years of university, but like it's still very new, I guess, at least relative to like what I do, which like I do like two
Sure.
a week, you know. So
Well, speaking of performing, because we are in Thanksgiving weekend, and this is always a huge night for music. And you got a gig November 23rd, right? 11/23.
yeah, that's right, at the Turf Club.
So who's playing with you? Because this looks like it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, it'll be Creeping Charlie. There's a band called
Nice.
Harlow, and then another band called Pit Stop. And I've played with Creeping Charlie and I've seen Harlow, and they're all just super nice people, and they sound great, you know. So it'll be a really cool kind of not too intense night. It'll just be like good music, and
Yeah.
us at least like we're playing. Like I made a post about our set list. And, like we only have 2 songs that like we're playing pretty much a whole new set list. Like I've just been writing past months, and so we're
Nice.
starting with my song Slopes and ending with the latest Making Me Crazy. So that's also really exciting because we've been playing the same tunes for like the past 2 summers, you know.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. 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 Well, it's and it's a good night to see some music because everyone has the night off the next day.
So,
So I encourage you to go check this show out if there's still tickets. I don't. Whenever I feel like whenever I promote these type of shows, it's like people try to get tickets and little did I know it sold out like 15 minutes ago. So maybe run, don't walk. I don't know. It's turf club shows are pretty fun on this kind of time of year. But where can people, if they like what we heard, because we did hear your new single at the top of the last set. If people like what they heard, where can they hear it again, and where can they get their hands on it?
so I guess it's not like physical format, but you could always go on Spotify, just my name, Colin Bracewell, Making Me Crazy. Or we actually put out a music video a couple weeks ago, and we shot that out in LA, and that's just
Nice.
fun vibes. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
my personality. So many people have been like my friends that have seen it have been like, "Gosh, that's like so you know."
It's oh yeah, I actually love LA, and I there's something weird because like I growing up in Philly, I felt like I should hate LA, but the more time I spend out there, it's just like this is great.
It's hard because I don't know if I would. I mean, they have pockets. If I bet if
Yeah,
I found a pocket, I wouldn't mind it. But just like it is just a lot, you know. And like
yeah,
luckily, I think right now what I do is just I spend a week there, get a lot of stuff done, play shows, meet people, and then I go back to Minneapolis, you know.
yes,
Um,
yeah.
so far that's been working out great. So we'll see if I ever need to make the move. But so far we're chilling.
That's been my method of doing things because I also feel like there's something nice about being able to leave because then you don't see the little peccadillos and the flaws of just like living somewhere all the time. Like it's still fantasy land. You can just go for a time and be like, oh, I love it here. And then but also I think it's what's cool about it is because it's a mega city, there is pockets for everyone and everything. And you'll find an audience out there, which is really cool. Do you have a preferred streaming service? Because I know that can be a controversial thing in this day and age. Do you prefer Spotify? Are you on Bandcamp at all?
I think technically I am on Bandcamp, but I haven't visited that site in a while. So I think
Right.
whatever's easiest for anyone, I will try and be better about putting stuff on Bandcamp. But I mean, the majority of people I think have Spotify and Apple Music. So if you we're on the big ones, and also like YouTube is like pretty
Of course.
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we're at.
Well, I want to thank you so much because I know you got to get ready for, you know, new shows, new performances. So thank you for taking the time this morning to talk with me. And if you're just tuning in, this is Desert Islands. Today I've been making a mixtape for Colin Bracewell. Colin, where can folks find you in the future? And is there anything you'd like listeners to know about before we get on with the mixtape here?
Um, I think folks can just, I mean, once again, my name's Colin Bracewell. And like I have a website too, just colinbracewell.com. And we're playing a show at the Turf Club on November 23rd. And that's kind of the next big show. And we don't really have anything else planned till the next year, which is really cool that we have some stuff planned in January. But
Yeah.
right now, just been kind of more focusing on songwriting, which has been
Yeah.
fun. So expect definitely like more music in the new year, in like bigger forms, I guess. So I'm
Of
really
course.
uh,
And winter's a good time to hibernate and start songwriting again. So
yeah.
yeah, it'll be a good transition. Well, have fun at the show. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're listening to Desert Islands, making a mixtape for Colin Bracewell. Let's keep going, shall we?